reached out with his stick and pulled down the Soviet player.
So the Soviet Union, leading by a goal, will have its 5th power play opportunity of this World Championship gold medal battle.
Odeline gets the hooking penalty. The Soviet Union 1 for 4 on their power play. Now watch Seamack with great speed. Watch Odeline with his hockey stick pull him down from behind. There's the speed of the Soviet Union to their advantage. And their power play working again. Seamack has a power play goal for the hockey club.
Back to the line. Santarinov with a shot. Toe save by Billington. He had to react quickly. And there's in the Canadian zone right in front of the official, Dag Olsen. And Olsen did not make any move. Santarinov fell to the ice as though he had been injured, and he was the individual who was guilty of charging. Fans reacting. They are still booing. And justifiably so.
And a good tactic if it's going to work for your hockey club, that of Tatarinov.
Loose puck in the center ice area now, picked up by Torgayev. He drops it back to Tatarinov, to Torgayev. He was unable to touch it, and that is a foul against the Soviets. Terry Simpson, undefeated as a coach in World Junior Championship play. And Tatarinov had a number of comments to make in the Hamilton press coming into this game about how he wanted to get certain Canadian players as a result of last year.
Here's that play by Tatarinov as he takes down one of the Canadian players. Yes, he did mention that he lost part of one of his front teeth in a game, and he also felt that he was viciously attacked and hit by the Canadian players Wendell Clark and Jim Sandlack, and then he was out for the rest of the tournament. They were both good body checks because I was there and saw them. But he's the leader of the hockey club, and he's getting underneath a lot of people's skin right now. And that's his tactic, and that's what makes him a good player.
Well, when he indicates that Dave Schultz is one of his favorite players, we understand the makeup of this young man. The Canadian team takes over in its own zone and manages to clear it. Now Nikitin shoots it in for the Soviet Union. Billington is there to stop it. Cote plays it around the boards and down the ice with 43 seconds remaining in the penalty total line. 6:39 the time left in this second period. Canada trailing by 1. Galchenyuk gets it over to Gapenko. Gapenko lost it at the line. Viveros to Karkner. He clears the zone. The Soviets come back. Viazmikin trying to set something up. Viazmikin not very popular with these Hamilton fans as he slid it to the side of the goal. It's held for a face-off by Billington.
Just 15 seconds left.
And Canada winds up the tournament on Saturday against Czechoslovakia. You'll see that game Saturday afternoon on CBC Sports Weekend. 15 seconds remaining in the penalty to Selmar Odeline. Now Conroy and Gapenko are waved out of the face-off circle. And that puck was dropped illegally. I believe it fell out of the hand of the Japanese lineman, Hidenori
Nakoaka. Actually, the stick from one of the centermen came up and caught his hand. He's done a pretty good job. Very prestigious for these linesmen to be able to come in different countries and be used in this tournament. They changed linesmen here for the dropping of the puck.
Sylvain Cote is bumped in against the board. The puck comes back to the line. A shot deflected in the goal mouth. Gapenko tried to deflect that blast from the point by Selyanin. Selyanin gets it again. His shot is blocked. Another shot from the point. Canada back at full strength. Billington drops from that loose puck as Conroy comes in along with Karkner to deck one of the Soviet players, and he falls on top of the American linesman Jeff Shell at the side of the Canadian net.
Viazmikin now getting mixed up with Shane Corson. Lots of body work by Terry Simpson's hockey club in front of the net. Now, we mentioned on their power play they love to use the points. Every time they had the puck on that last shift, they were shooting the puck from the points. So as defensemen have to be aware of that action and try and knock people out from in front of the net. Now, there's the screen set up perfectly. Now the Canadian players come over and try and knock that screen out of the way. Nikonov standing in front, trying to screen Billington.
These shots from the point something different for the Soviet team on the power play, too, John. They used to try and work that perfect give-and-go passing play to score those power play goals.
Well, the thing is, with this Soviet team here, it's not the most skilled hockey club they've ever had in this tournament, so they feel that's the best way that they're going to be powerful on that power play, get it back to the point, nothing fancy, and shoot the puck as much as possible. You take a look at Konstantinov, one of the bigger players in the hockey club. He comes from a city far away, Siberia. That's 6,000-odd miles away from Moscow. It's a huge, huge country. Over 2 million hockey players in the Soviet Union.
A lot of hockey players to choose from in the Soviet Union. And they have developed some outstanding teams over the years. Drop pass at the line, picked off by Nieuwendyk to Sandlak, the captain of the Canadian team. Fakes the shot, goes to the outside, tries to get it in front to Nieuwendyk, and it was blocked. And back comes the Soviet Union. Good move by Sandlak as he faked that shot to drop the defenseman and then tried to get it in front, but unfortunately for the Canadian team, it was blocked. Seamak back into the zone to Tatarinov. Tatarinov gets away from Nieuwendyk. Another good move at the Canadian line. Looking for Seamak, the puck bounces high. And the Canadian player, Viveros, gets that loose puck and puts it to the other side to Mellanby. Mellanby moves away from Kamensky, ahead to Shane Corson. Corson shoots it into the Soviet goal, and then hauls down the Soviet player, Fedotov, right in front of the penalty box. No whistle, and the two players are still entangled. Great wide pass. As attempts to take a shot, and the two players, Corson and Fedotov, were back pushing and shoving in the neutral zone right in front of the penalty box, and the officials, all three of them, totally oblivious to what was going on.
Tag Olsen actually looked back and saw it. He put the whistle to his mouth once done, didn't want to blow it dead, but Shane Corson's got to be careful here. He doesn't want to end up taking a bad penalty. It's a 2-1 hockey game. Very key part of the game coming up. Tag Olsen having a tough time trying to keep things under control here as the second period winds down. Now the puck's gone way into the corner. Watch Corson pull down the Soviet player. Now they're going to wrestle. And I'll tell you, this is not wrestling. It's supposed to be ice hockey. They laid there for a good 30 seconds.
Kravchuk from the faceoff let a blast open the point that just went by. Now Stapleton in his own zone, having trouble moving it out of there. The Soviets doing a good job of forechecking here and applying pressure. 4 minutes remaining in this second period. The Soviets leading by a score of 2-1. They have scored the only goal of the second period. Kartner in his own zone. Gets it ahead to Stapleton. Stapleton into the center ice area to Robitaille. Robitaille, good move to get around the defender. Puts on the brakes. Dumps it into the corner to Mellanby. Mellanby looking back to the point. Nobody was in position. And Viveros has to race back into his own zone after it. Viveros, who plays for the Prince Albert Raiders. Now a lead pass for Murphy. Murphy gets the shot away. Bellows-Shaken made the save. And Murphy was unable to fire the rebound. Dug out by Robitaille. His backhand goes wide. And the puck is deflected over the glass and out of play.
Real good pressure by the Canadian Hockey Club. Sylvain Cote, teammates putting pressure on. Sylvain Cote, 2 years ago, played 67 games with the Hartford Whalers. This year, not as much action as the team went with different defensemen, even though he stayed there for the year. You know, when they had a Pee-wee tournament way back in '79 in Quebec City, Sylvain Cote was the MVP of that tournament. Scott Mellanby played in it.
And Cote yesterday celebrated his 20th birthday.
All right.
And he'd like to continue that celebration tonight by adding a gold medal. 3:18 remaining in the second period. 2-1, the Soviet Union leads Canada in a highly entertaining hockey game here at the Cops Coliseum. Capacity crowd watching the action. Canadian games in this building against the United States, Sweden. This one against the Soviet Union, and Saturday's game against Czechoslovakia. Total sellouts. Loose puck in the center ice area. Greenlaw dumps it in for Canada. Fedotov back after it, plays it around in the boards. Odeline manages to keep it in. Odeline dumps it into the corner to Peter Duras. Duras is bumped and hauled down by Fedotov. blocked again. Racing back after it is Odeline, an icing call against the Soviet Union. Joe Murphy, a young man many feel will be one of the top 1 or 2 or maybe 3rd pick in the draft. And Joe Murphy has been one of the scoring stars for this Canadian team. He attends Michigan State. And that June draft taking place this year in Montreal. A blast from the point, deflected and cleared into the center ice area. Now it's Roberts dropping it off on the wing. Conroy tried to center it. It was deflected by the Soviets back out into the center ice area. The Canadian team has to go back to regroup. Seamack ahead to Hyderov. Hyderov trying to cut in, gets it out front. The Soviet player at the side of the net, Nikonov, is not flying. The puck is loose right in the goal crease. They jam away at it, and finally it's deflected to the corner. Seamack gets it back to the point. Fired into the corner by Kravchuk. It comes around to the other side to Nikitin. The Soviet player Hyderov is dumped at the blue line. As the puck came out, it was fired back in and touched there by Nikonov. Whistle down on the offside. And then the Canadian player, Laxdal, coming in across the line, took an elbow. He went down, but Doug Olson did not blow the whistle. And now Shane Corson is getting involved. And then Soviet bench, as emotions continue to run very high in this gold medal battle. Laxdal is out there now. In front of the Canadian bench. He appears to be okay. But the Canadian team almost fell behind by 2 on this scramble in front of the Canadian net. Now Doug Olson, the official, moves right into the crease, and finally that puck is poked off into the corner. He certainly had a close-up view of that puck as it lay in that Canadian crease. 1:51 remaining in this second period. John Davidson has made his way down to the Canadian bench and will be talking to a member of this 1986 tournament squad at the conclusion of this period. Neuendijk in that face-off circle against Torgeyev. He got the draw back. It's played over to Kartner. He shoots it into the Soviet zone, deflected in front of the net. Loose puck, backhand shot. And Neuendijk hit the side of the net. Shane Corson has it now. And the Canadian player, Sandlak, is absolutely called on the Soviet goal crease, and there is going to be a penalty. Salyanin hauled down Sandlak in the goal crease. Not only did he haul him down, he held him down. And with 1:36 remaining in the period, Canada will go to the power play. This is only the second power play opportunity. Now watch this in the goal crease. Salyanin absolutely hauls Sandlak down and holds him down. No question about that call, although it took a while for Doug Olson to blow the whistle. That previous Canadian power play was not a full 2 minutes, as it came about a minute and a half into a Canadian penalty. Now it's Sandlak, the captain, back to the line. Stapleton with a shot off the leg to the corner. Neuendijk plays it back to the net. Corson was knocked down in front of the net by Fedotov. The fans reacted again. Picked up by the Soviets, brought out. They're checked at the line. Loose puck. The Canadian team takes over. Corson down the right wing, working against Fedotov. He puts on the brakes, shoots it around on the board. Pitching in from the point is Stapleton. Sandlak comes in to check the Soviet player, Galchenyuk. And I believe there's a penalty again. Yes, there is. As Olson calls a high sticking penalty against the Canadian team captain. And some of the spectators here there in the Cops Coliseum, not impressed with the work of Doug Olson, and they are letting him know, and they have also directed several projectiles his way. So Jerry Simpson tries to calm his troops down. Here's the penalty call. And Sandbach decks Galchenyuk in that Soviet zone. Not much question about the call. Coming into this game, the Soviet Union was the most penalized team with 88 minutes assessed against them, while Canada ranked fourth, having been penalized for 62 minutes. Finland and the United States, the least penalized teams in the tournament. 1:02 remaining in this second period. And the teams are now playing 5-a-side. Now it's Sylvain Cote. Back to his own line to Viveros. Viveros tried to dump it in on the right side. However, it was whistled down as Conroy had preceded the puck across the line. Kravchuk, one of 10 Soviet players who was with the team at the Junior World Championship last year in Finland, a year that saw this Soviet team win the bronze medal. 50 seconds remaining in the period. Both teams undefeated, winning their first 5 games. The Soviet Union, 1 game remaining against Finland. Canada will wind up the tournament Saturday against Czechoslovakia. Murphy in across the line. Conroy breaking for the net. Just deflected by Beloshakin. He just got a piece of that deflection by Conroy. Now it's Murphy in the Canadian zone with 30 seconds remaining in the period. Great opportunity there for Canada with Conroy almost tying it at 2. Kravchuk on the right side for Viasmikin. It's poked away from him by Corson. He takes his man to the board. Still got a stick on it. Seamack now to Viasmikin, back at the net. Viasmikin with 8 seconds remaining tried to play it back to the point. Kravchuk was not in position, and that should end the period as he fires it to the Canadian line, and it's knocked down there. Well, Joe Murphy made a pretty play to Al Conroy in the final minute of this period that almost tied the game at 2 as he broke down the right side and slid it across to the young player from the Medicine Hat Tigers. Watch the deflection, and Beloshakin, sprawling, just got a piece of it as he fell to deflect it by the post. Again, Murphy to the backhand. Conroy deflecting it. Beloshakin fell, but his foot came across, and the puck was deflected wide. So the Canadian team, 5-0 winners over this
Calgary Flames, a player by the name of Ronberg. The Swedes, I believe, have 10 on their squad. The Canadians, there's only 3 that aren't. Of course, 1 on the Russian squad, as you mentioned. So lots of NHL scouts here drooling over some of the finest talent in the world in this tournament.
But some of the fine talent wearing that red uniform is inaccessible.
Yeah. There's not much chance that number 3 for the Soviet Union is going to be able to go play in North America. Never say never, Don, but not much chance.
59 seconds remaining in the penalty to Sandlak. 32 seconds in the penalty to Salyanin. From the faceoff, right at the side of the net, they bang away. Beloshakin was down, but the puck moved out of danger, and the Soviets bring it out into the center ice area. Now it's fired in by Conroy. Corson stops it along the boards. Back to the net for Conroy to Corson. Corson tried to get it over to Selmar Odeline. It was knocked down and dumped to the corner. Cleared out into the center ice area. Viveros is back for Canada. He plays it over to Odeline. Cleared out, and is that the fire alarm I hear in the Cops Coliseum in Hamilton? I hope it is a false alarm.
They're trying to get the attention of those players down there in the red uniforms.
Well, we have been close to fireworks a couple of times in the playing of this gold medal game. Seamack with a shot. What a blast off the glass and wide. Katerina had it knocked away. Here's a 2-on-1 for Canada. Scott Mellanby across the line. Good back checking by Osipov. as he took the puck away from him. Tremendous speed for many of these Russian players coming to the fore in the second and now in the third period. Fedotov in his own zone gets it ahead to Kamensky. Turgeyev back to Kamensky at the line. Got it to Turgeyev. He took a shot. It went wide. Back to the net, trying to dig it out for Osipov, and he was tied up by Kartner, and Canada comes back, led by Robitaille. Robitaille working back to the net, right out in front in the crease. Belosheikin held on with Mellanby looking for that loose puck, and now Mellanby and Fedotov do some pushing after the whistle.
Fedotov put the headlock on Mellanby right in the goal crease, trying to clear him out.
18:12 is the time remaining in the third period. The Soviets leading Canada by 1. Is going to win a second straight gold medal. It's essential that they gain at least a tie in this game against the Soviet Union. A victory would assure a gold medal. If they tie, they would require a win against Czechoslovakia in the final game on Saturday. Davidov brings it out of his own zone. On the right side, ahead of the play was Kovalev.
Don, this is the second year Terry Simpson's been the head coach of Team Canada. I think there's finally a cheer. Maybe that siren's going to stop. But in Terry Simpson's 2 years, his win-loss record, he has 10 wins, no losses, and 2 ties. Of course, that loss record in jeopardy right now as his team is down 1 goal to the Soviets. But that is some record for international hockey.
Bumped in the corner by Murphy, back to the point. Viveros trying to play it in. It hit the referee, Olsen, and is cleared out by the Soviets. Here's Davidov to the backhand. He looked after that, went after that rebound, and Billington managed to cover up.
A break for Davidov as he took that puck off the skate of the linesman and popped right out on his stick. Now watch him wait and wait and wait before he makes the play. He's considered by Central Scouting as one of the top 6 young Soviet players in the entire Soviet Union. Look at how he waits, delays, and makes a little play and gets at least a shot on goal, hoping for some sort of a rebound, etc. Billington stood up and played it well. Davidov has a lot of skills.
From the faceoff, Kartner goes back of his own net. Passes to Conroy. Conroy is hit by Konstantinov, and he is hurt. Conroy is down. There's no whistle. Conroy is back at his own blue line, and finally, Olsen blows the whistle. But Conroy took a tremendous hit in the center ice area from Konstantinov.
Konstantinov was set for the body check, more so than Conroy was. Now watch Konstantinov get good size, and he puts a shoulder right into young Al Conroy. I don't know if he had the wind knocked out of him there or not. It looked like a shoulder right into that chest. Nonetheless, it was some body check by Konstantinov.
Well, Conroy gives away 20 pounds to his Soviet rival, as Conroy is 5'7", 165 pounds. He plays for the Medicine Hat Tigers, and Konstantinov is 6 feet, 190 pounds. Make it 25 pounds weight differential.
The nickname of the Konstantinov, his grandfather. He's so young that they call him the old man of the team, but he's some hockey player.
I believe in the Soviet language, Diet is what they call him.
Diet, D-Y-E-T, I think.
From the face-off, a shot right on by Moylan. It goes to the corner now up along the boards, and the Soviets bring it out. Pass broken up by Cote, Alain Cote knocking it down at his own line. Now he brings it out for Canada. He warms up. Vicious blast sailed over top of that Soviet. Now here's Hyderov breaking away on the right side. Hyderov, and some good work by Stapleton to get back to get into the play, and Stapleton is hurt as he's down back of that Canadian goal, and again a delay in that whistle being blown, and Stapleton appears to be in a lot of pain. He crashed heavily into those end boards as he made a determined effort to get back and knock the puck away from Hyderov.
He had no control when he slid into the boards, Don, and sometimes if your sticks get out ahead of you or there was other players, other objects meet the boards and come back, go right into your body, and he's in considerable pain. What an effort he made to catch the Soviet player to break up the play. Just put his head down, skated as hard as he could, and got back and made the play. Now, he was holding his upper chest around the throat. You can see the pain etched on his face underneath that visor, trying to get his wind there, obviously. Breathing in and out, trying to relax a bit. What a play he made. Watch him put his head down, turn it on, time his dive perfectly, and knock the feet out from the Soviet player, Hyderov. Look at how he swept the puck before he knocked the player down to stay away from an injury or away from a penalty. Now watch as he heads into the boards. He goes in head first as he was on the ice. No chance of trying to control that smashing meeting with the boards. Boy, that has to be some honor for Mike Stapleton to be drafted by the Chicago Blackhawks, where his dad spent the majority of his great National League years. He's an interesting kid. He says his dad didn't push him into hockey, which was great, but his dad certainly helped him when he decided he wanted to play hockey. And that's quite a compliment for his father.
He's one of the smaller members of this Canadian team at 5 feet 10 inches, 175 pounds. He works on the family farm in the summer months.
You bet. He and his brother sort of taken over the farm from his father. You know, you have to remember, if this game ends up in a tie, which it hasn't yet, of course, they still have to play on Saturday afternoon, and they need healthy bodies to play. Look at the watch as he makes the play. Watch, there's the collision of everybody. Now they're going to separate, and watch Stapleton come right through the middle of everybody, head first into the boards, and he's gone off. Boy, the glass really rebounded back, didn't it? Quite a force.
You get an indication from the way that glass was vibrating as to how hard they hit the boards.
He's not going to the dressing room. He's gone right to the bench. Dr. Rudy Gittens from Ottawa trying to help Mike Stapleton, find out what the problem is, and hopefully it's just a problem with his breathing.
That's the time remaining, 16:42 in this third period. They do not play overtime in the World Junior Championships. Emotions have been running high from the outset of this hockey game. Selmar Odeline has it poked away. Viveros retreats into his own zone, hits one of the officials with that lead pass. And now the Soviets try and get something going. Odeline breaks it up in the center ice area. Pass deflected ahead, too far for Neuendijk. Ozipov has it. He gets it over on the right side to Torgeyev. He gets away from Corson going to the corner. Now Corson catches up with him and takes him into the boards. Sandlak unable to clear the shot right on from Kravchuk, and it's deflected by Billington. Comes back into the neutral zone, and Nikitin takes it back into his own zone, goes rink wide to Kravchuk. Kravchuk shoots it down the ice. This will be an icing infraction against the Soviets. 15:55 is the time remaining in the third period. We'll have a face-off in the Soviet zone in this gold medal battle between Canada and the Soviet Union. That's the number of people in attendance tonight here at the Copps Coliseum in Hamilton. And they were selling tickets outside the building about an hour before the game for as much as $100.